It's the oldest ranch in Sublette County. Mike's great-granddad bought it in 1885, but it had been homesteaded by Leifer and Swan in 1776. So they had their pick of the whole county to choose from. They chose this place because it's great, great ranch country.
This ranch is really cool because it's so diverse. We have, the riparian areas down along the creeks and rivers. We have kind of the sagebrush uplands. We even get up into kind of the aspen conifer forest.
This weather's milder than over at Pinedale in a lot of the county, but mainly these drainages and the access to water that this ranch has. That's one thing that makes it special.
So historically, the property was used for grazing, primarily cattle, but also some sheep in the area as well. And it's been well managed. The grazing has been done in a framework that allows for the wildlife habitat to persist and to do well as well.
We don't fertilize at all. We don't spray for mosquitoes. We don't like chemicals. We're kind of old-fashioned ranchers. But we also make all our decisions not just based around cattle, but also based around wildlife.
This property has a lot of diverse habitat types on it. The diversity of habitat lends itself to really good diversity of wildlife species found on the ranch. And so everything from sage-grouse to mule deer, pronghorn, elk, moose, black bears, even potentially wolves and grizzly bears in and around the ranch. We also, some coyotes and badgers, a lot of those kind of mid-level carnivores or mid-level predators. Doing a lot of data collection on the different wildlife species that are here, the vegetation, trying to get a good baseline and learn as much as we can about the current use of the property. So where those wildlife species are spending the winter, where they're spending the summertime, where they're spending, in the springtime when they're having their babies. And then we'll look to implement projects, whether it's down in the riparian, up high. Historically there's been a wildfire at the top end of the property, and that's presented some really nice opportunities for the aspen to really regenerate. So these aspens right here, they're low enough that the elk, it looks like, have browsed those ones. It takes a few years for the aspen to get tall enough to where the elk then and the deer can't nip the leaves off and nip the New Year's growth. Disturbances that come through the landscape, such as wildfire, they can be really beneficial for species like aspen that really depend on that disturbance to regenerate. So it's really cool to see all these little aspens growing and the benefit that they'll provide for wildlife as time goes on.
We just want to see the ranch continue, long after we're gone. And these conservation easements makes us feel good about that.
Our overarching goal is to make sure that the wildlife habitat and wildlife populations in this area are doing well into the future. This property is unique also because it sits in an area where there has been quite a bit of oil and gas development, and this is kind of a big contiguous block of land that doesn't have any development on it, any oil and gas development. The landowner is multi-generation family. They've been on the land for a long time, and the biggest thing they want is for the land to look good and to be in really good condition as they pass it on to their future generations.